It literally, there's so much power because if you have no direction, you're gonna be going in circles.
Yeah.
Like if you don't know, I'm walking in that direction. I don't care if it's one step at a time or a sprint or a jog or I'm super, super slow, I'm going that direction. Sooner or later, you're gonna get there.
A YouTuber, the ultimate cheerleader, and a true creative with a heart of compassion and championship, she is known for her ability to inspire, encourage, and create with intention. Her work is rooted in passion and people. This is Lola, also known as Lulu Fox.
Welcome back to season 2, Wrecked by God, or for short, Wrecked. What happens when your whole world and everything you thought you knew was completely flipped upside down because you encountered the real God? We're back for a holiday special with my favorite person ever, Lulu Fox.
Wait, that's so funny because you're actually my favorite person ever. Grace the Lemons? Wait, that's crazy.
Lola, also known as Lulu Fox, subscribe to her YouTube channel. We're going to link it right here. Insert link. She is someone who is so full of joy, if you haven't already noticed. Someone that you could just have so much fun with, but someone who also has so much character, so much wisdom, and is a big sister figure to so many people. She's only 19. She just turned 19 this past week.
Last Friday.
Happy birthday. Everyone say happy birthday to Lola. Last year of teenage years. But I keep forgetting. I keep thinking that she's like 25 because you're just so mature. And the way that you walk through life is just through the lens of Jesus. When you do that, then he just blesses you and preserves you and continues to enlighten not only you, but the people around you through you. So I'm excited for this conversation.
I'm so excited. And Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. It's December.
First week of December.
First week of December. So we have a little Christmas tree, some red pillows,
A red fuzzy blanket, jacket.
Her outfit is so good today. I love it.
Thank you.
So who are you? Where are you coming from? What's your story?
I honestly was a little girl with big dreams, and that sounds so cheesy. I love it. But it's so true because when I was little, I wanted to do everything. And I just had so many hopes, so many dreams, and so much confidence. And for me, like, part of my testimony is in my, like, teenage years, all of that got ripped away from me. Life as I knew it got flipped upside down. There was moving, people in my family getting really, really sick, just constant, just setbacks for, like, 8 years of my life. And so for me, that's why it never has such a special meaning to me, because I had to overcome that. And I feel like for me recently, my story, like I'm just getting back to who I was.
So what was that endured season like? What did that look like?
I moved away. I had my confidence like taken from me. I just became an absolute shell of myself. Everything that I used to like to do, I didn't like to do anymore. I lost my creativity, just truly like lost who I was. And I wouldn't say that I tried to like find my identity in the world. I feel like that's a typical like testimony. For me, I just was a shell of myself and I didn't even try to find anything. And so for me, meeting Jesus in my teen years was like just absolutely transformative, changed my life, changed everything for me. And now it's like I've gotten to a place where I'm on the other side of that, and all the work, all the hustle, the endeavor was worth it. I love that. So great.
Yes.
Wait, can you tell I'm a fan? Can you tell I watch every episode? Can you tell every comment?
I'll go in the comments and she's there. She's my biggest.
Oh, you'll find me there first.
I'm her biggest hype woman. You need friendships like that. Like if your friends aren't hyping you up like that when you're starting out in your creative journey or like doing the dreams that God's calling you to do. Like my friends are literally behind the camera right now filming this episode. Like, what kind of friends? What kind of friends want fist bump? The fist bump in the back. You didn't see that, but we saw it.
We saw it, and that's what matters.
Yeah, but literally, I feel like God is the same way. Like he's up there, like a big man upstairs. He's just like, yes, like those are my kids, those are my daughters. Like he wants to celebrate us in the things that he's gifted us in. You know, like he doesn't want to give us a gift and then we hide ourselves in it. But
That's-
that's such a common thing to do when you're like trying to figure out what's my thing, what's my purpose, what's my calling. Maybe it's just easier to shut down altogether. So what did the shutting down or like being the shell look like for you? Because you were doing YouTube since what, you were like 10, 11?
I was, I think I was 12.
Okay.
Wait, yeah, I was 12.
Yeah. I have watched some of your videos and I go through the comments and almost like every comment is like, hi, I'm like Lulu. Hi, Lola. I'm 11 years old. I'm starting my craft. I'm doing my thing. And I'm like, that is the most precious thing ever. And so for those other kids that are 11, 12 years old who are in their shell, like what were some of the thoughts that were in your mind that maybe weren't like projected onto YouTube?
So for me, at that point, I was already in the slump. And you couldn't tell. Like, if you go back and watch things, I look like a happy kid. I was not. I was very much struggling. But I was always good at putting on, like, a brave face. And so I'm so glad that the Lord had me start when I started, because that kind of got me through. I just thought everything about me wasn't good enough. And that could sound, like, just very broad. But honestly, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Like, everything I created, I didn't like. Everything I would say, I would overthink when I went home. Like, genuinely, every single interaction. And I think that can stem from perfectionism. But honestly, perfectionism is honestly just something that the enemy was using to target me and to stop me from what God had for me. It was more just everything about my personality being flipped upside down. And me just truly hiding every single authentic part of myself. So if anything about me was unique or authentic, I hid that part of me away so that I could just not get in people's way and just not cause any problems for myself, or so I thought. But in reality, it was really hurting me because it was not my identity in Christ. It was me hiding what my identity was.
Would you say that you were more passive or just kind of like a yes sayer to everything?
Middle school was homeschool. In high school it was online. But in every single social circle, I was still just like, I was a people pleaser. So everything I said, it was just like, yes, I'm sorry. Like, everything was just like, just making sure you're okay. I'm not even thinking about myself. I'm just making sure that I'm not in someone's way or taking too much space or being too loud or being too opinionated or things like that. So I genuinely just shrink myself down as much as possible.
What was the point where you were like, I can't keep doing this anymore?
For a while, I was just incredibly lonely because that didn't bring me like real authentic friendships. And then at one point I realized like my need for community and my need for friendships. And the thing is, if you are acting like everyone else, then the people that are looking for you will not be able to find you because they're looking for you and you're not there. Like, there's like a different version of you there. And so then slowly but surely, honestly starting last summer, I started going to like church groups and stuff. I went to so many things by myself. Like, I went to probably like, I don't even know how many, 30 things by myself. Did not meet anyone. And then sooner or later, I did bump into someone. And that was even a journey because initially I was like, yes, like whatever you want. And like super like trying to just make sure that the person was happy so that they would still want to be friends with me. But then after that, like I just like slowly being in Christ-centered friendships, like the Lord's healed me. Now I feel like I'm truly the most authentic version of myself when I'm with other people.
Yes, and who you are is so fun. I've never met another Lola. When we first met and just like kind of had a conversation about our passions, our joys, things that we're going after, I was so brought to life when I heard that there was another young woman going after business, who was going after just bettering yourself, your lifestyle, whether that's like physical and spiritual, and seeing like your YouTube. I know a lot of what you talk about in YouTube is business related. Titles are like how to make money as a young like teenage girl, or how to find friends, all these things that sound like things that you were trying to like look for, and now you're helping so many other young women like go through that and find that as well. But one thing that I loved the most was like when you click on a video and it says like how to make money as a teen, it's so much more than how to make money. Like, it's not what you would think it is when you watch the video. When you watch the video, it's like there were some things that I actually took notes on, and it was like your mindset, your character, like having your trust in the Lord. Like, those were the things that actually made you money as a teen, you know? And it was like not what you would expect, because when you're looking into the world for advice for things like, I don't know, it's a lot like self-centered. It's like when you watch the video, you're like, oh wow, like actually going after your goals and dreams has a lot more to do with your healthy habits. And that looks like following the Lord, that looks like having a healthy mindset, that looks like discipline, not being passive. And so hearing your story and like feeling like you needed to shrink down, maybe because even other people in your circle were just okay with being in the minimum, would you say?
I would just say more that every time I had like a fear of disappointing people. And so every time I would accidentally disappoint someone by being too loud when I wasn't supposed to, or this or that or whatever it was, it like hit me so deep to my core. And so it wasn't necessarily like I was like trying to follow other people around me. It was more just that I really didn't want to hurt someone. So almost like the enemy took my like pure desire of, oh, I do not want to hurt someone, and twisted it to, no, just become as small as possible. Don't make any mistake, because you're walking on eggshells constantly. So it's like it was a pure desire, but it was twisted by the enemy.
And then you are the Lola you are today, who is so free-spirited, so like full of, look at this girl, so full of joy. That transition when you were like, I can't be in the shell anymore.
Yeah.
I gotta break free. Yeah. And so you said that transition probably kind of started last year when you finally met your community. And what was different about that community?
Jesus was in that community, for one. And I had gone to numerous church groups and never really clicked with people. So like sometimes there can be people who are authentic believers, but you just don't click with them. And so for me, I think that was on purpose, and the Lord had me not meet my people for a long time because of like a season where he refined me. Then I got so close to Jesus during that time. But then after that, when I was ready for community, that's when I think he opened those doors. Just doing the uncomfortable thing. I made myself so uncomfortable for like a year straight, maybe a year and a half, like literally just walking into like just different events where I wanted to meet people and sitting there by myself and going up to literally anyone, if they were like 30 years old, if they were like 14, like I didn't care how old you were. I would literally walk up to anybody and try to start a conversation. And I just like every time I had the choice of like, do I stay home and I stay comfortable, or do I just put myself out there? Every single time I said yes. And so that was like the switch in my mindset of you just have to try. And when you realize that it's actually more dangerous to stay where you are and to not try, then you realize like, oh, I'm actually going to put myself out there, because that's actually where you're going to see progress and you're going to see change and you're going to be able to step into what you've always thought about in your mind.
And so mindset is a big thing about what you talk about in your videos. What are some of the, I have a couple. Actually, let me pull them up really quick.
I've got notes.
I have notes. I took notes. And I'm titling this episode, You Are Holding Yourself Back, because you are.
It's like the story of my life until last year.
You are holding yourself back. Yeah. What comes up to your mind when you hear that?
My mom telling me that every day for like years of my life.
Yeah.
Because I think that also, I mean, when people can hype you up, people can tell you you're so creative, you're so smart, you're so beautiful, you're so intelligent, whatever it is that they're telling you. But if you don't believe it, then you're holding yourself back. I didn't believe it. I didn't believe anything anyone had ever said of me, which is good because I didn't rely on other people's opinions. But at the same time, like I was holding myself back by just putting myself in like a little cage.
Yeah.
And telling myself, no, you can't leave that cage because you might make a mistake. And it's like, actually mistakes aren't the end of the world. Like you're going to have so many failures. You're going to have so many mistakes. But without that, like you're not going to get anywhere in life.
Yeah.
So yes, I would rather fail like 1,000 times. I would rather fail 1,000,000 times if it means I'm going to get one win rather than not doing anything at all.
Yeah, no, that's good. There was 2 episodes that you have that I loved. My 2 favorite episodes from Lulu Fox are 11 Habits for Teens to Become Millionaires,
Sweet.
How to Make Money series, and the How to Make Money by Starting Your YouTube Channel, which is so funny because you click on them and you think they're like just basic personal branding things, but they dive so deep that I'm like, oh my gosh, I love this because I wasn't expecting this.
Yeah.
You wouldn't expect those were the things that would bring you out of your shell. You know what I'm saying? These were the quotes that Lulu had that I loved. Number 1, once you master discipline, you are unstoppable.
Well, I think that so many people have ideas, and even this is a wonderful example. Every time I tell someone I have a YouTube channel, I kid you not, 9 times out of 10, people are like, I've always wanted to start a YouTube channel. And I'm like, okay, like do it. And they're like, well, and there's always like an excuse. And it's like, sometimes, yes, the excuse is like very, very valid. But a lot of the times I'm like, I'm like, it's a lack of discipline. And like, not in like a mean way. It's truly just like, you owe that to yourself. And I'm like, no, like you need to put that work in because you've been thinking about that for so long. Like I want that for you. And so it's like, that's what it comes down also to yourself holding yourself back because you're the only person who can choose to wake up early. You're the only person who can choose to focus on working right now instead of scrolling on TikTok. You're the only person in charge of your own actions. And so I like, that's why I just stand by that quote so much because it's like, without discipline, you can't get anywhere.
As someone who is so passionate about endurance and perseverance and mindset and going after the thing that's called you to do, this might sound mean, but I get so annoyed when I see something in someone and they're not doing anything about it.
You see potential.
Yes.
And they're not like applying.
And they're not doing it.
And that's like such a good quality like as a guide because you want them to, like you feel that, like I see something in you. And like, if you feel that, how much more does God feel that? Oh, when we have gifts, because here's the thing, someone once said on TikTok.
I love that we put on Instagram and TikTok.
Someone once said that God is not impressed with your gifts. And it's true. He's impressed with what you do with them. So if you're sitting there and you're like, oh, I'm a great singer. I'm such a great singer. Like, I love my voice. And sometimes I sing in the shower. It's like, okay, like, what if God, like, he's told you, like, to go and start your own music or to sing at your church or something. But you're like, no, it's okay. I'm a good singer. God gave you that. So he's impressed with what you do with your gifts. So that's, like, I'm sure he feels the same thing that you feel of, like, in his loving way of, like, do something. Like, I told you what to do. Do it. Like, the enemy, if he can't get you to sin, he will distract you. And that's, like, the number one thing Christians struggle with is, like, oh, well, like, I don't sin. It's like, no, but you're so distracted by your insecurities or this or that or whatever else. And it's like, no, lock in, trust God, lock it, period.
Yeah. Same 24 hours in the day that this person has and this person has and this person has. And it's like, what are you going to do with those 24 hours? You know, clock it. Next quote. Procrastination is an act of pride because we think that we'll be given the opportunity to do something again.
I will be honest, I saw that on TikTok, but it really hit me hard because I am a master procrastinator. Fun fact. And it's so true though, because it's like, we can talk about, oh, well, I don't have a good camera. I don't have good mics. I can't start a podcast. It's like, you have a phone. Literally these days, you can do so much with a phone. You could blow up your Instagram with a phone. You could do a podcast with your phone. Like, if you really want to do something, it's not a lack of, like, equipment 9 times out of 10. It's a lack of you actually just putting in the work. And so that's, like, another thing of, like, discipline. Like, procrastination is an act of pride. Because you're, like, you're telling God, like, no, I have free time, but I want to use it the way I want. I'm not going to use it for the thing that you've been telling me to do for 5 years. Like, no, I'm gonna watch another episode of my favorite show for, like, the 3rd time. Like, that's not what God wants you to do. And I'm not saying that rest is not important, but we all know the point. We all know inside, as much as we can, like, try to hide it, in your gut, you know when you're procrastinating versus when you're actually resting. And it's also not a form of rest, because if you're a subconscious and your spirit knows that you're supposed to be working on what God has for you right now, but instead you're, like, listening to the flesh, laziness, it's going to harm you in the long run. And it's going to harm your faith.
Yeah, that's so real. That's so true. And whether your dream or your goal or your desire, whatever it is like YouTube or something else, like for me, it's like film. And it's like the Lord has put a gift inside of your heart. And to, like, not use it is, like, for me, that's crime. We're only here on this earth for so long. What are you going to do with it? What are you going to do with it?
Somebody clip that.
What are you going to do with that time? Maybe your dream and your calling is, like, to be a homemaker, to be someone who's going to, like, lift up your family and the next generation. Maybe your dream is, like, or your calling is to be a storyteller through filmmaking, because Jesus was the greatest parable storyteller. Like, what if it was like for Lola, like to teach to be someone different from what the world is showing, what it is to be a woman of God and to go after your dreams in a way that's going to actually uplift the people around you. Your dreams and your calling has a lot to do with your purpose and your personal story. Like for Lola, like you're saying, you were in your shell, you didn't know who you were necessarily, or was afraid to be maybe too much. And so now showing other young girls, like, you don't have to be afraid of being too much. Your own testimony through the tool of YouTube and your dream of that is now producing fruit for other young girls. And if you're watching, give Lola a thumbs up. Give Lola a
give Grace a like,
subscribe. And it's almost like for the sake of bringing up the next generation of people that are going to go through the same things. And then, you know, like your purpose, I always love saying the journey of your purpose is about you, but your actual purpose isn't about you. So
this girl right here,
how you live your life and the journey, what you choose to do in trial, in difficult situations is about the development of your character and discovering who you are. When you're in junior high, when you're in high school, like you're always trying to figure out, who am I? Like, what's my identity? What am I about? And so when you find out that it's actually not about you, you have so much more freedom and so much more joy to not feel so like, oh my gosh, I don't even know how to that explains it perfect. Anxiety, because you're trying to figure out what group and what box you fit in. But when you realize like your story is who you are and how you creatively communicate that through your dream, through the gifts that God's given you, is gonna help bring other people. And then there's so much more joy in it.
True.
You know?
So much more joy when you stop thinking about doing something for yourself and you just think about doing it for God. Like it becomes easy, because you're like, we have like, just if it's about ourselves, we put just different like labels on it, and it's like through society's eyes. But the second you switch it to like, no, I'm doing this for God, it's like, whoa, like, and if I'm doing it for him, then he's going to help me and he's going to push me when I'm not strong enough to like stand up.
I remember one of our last conversations, I think we went to LA together. We went somewhere. We went to LA a couple times. And I remember we were having a conversation about, you were like asking like, how do I have confidence? Like struggling in body image. I'm curious, like since then, like what do you feel like the Lord's told you?
I was probably about 16 at this point. And I remember I just like struggled with compassion for certain things. And then I remember praying, I was like, Lord, please give me compassion for all the things that I don't have compassion for. I kid you not, in the next 2 years, I went through every single thing that I didn't have compassion for. Like everything that I never thought that I could struggle with, I struggled with. Like, for one was like body image. I just never like understood it. I was just like, oh, like, it's fine. Like, if like, what are you talking about? Like, you look fine. You look great because other girls look great to me. And then suddenly, one day, it clicked in my brain, I don't like the way I look in this shirt. I don't like the way I look in this. That triggered me down a spiral of like just difficult times with like eating and stuff like that. And that's just one example out of many. And so I think that the Lord is so kind that like every sort of hardship we go through, we can come out on top. Literally, the second you realize everyone else is human and everyone else has imperfections, you're like, oh. And it takes like so much off your shoulders. The second you realize that everyone who's on Instagram, like, no hate to social media. I got saved through a YouTube video. Long story short. But like the second you realize, oh, that's a highlight reel, and you truly let that sink in, that like, no, like every single person you know has a bad picture, like you're like, oh, then I'm just normal and I'm human, not who God created me to be.
Yeah.
And it just takes off all the weight from that. Yeah. And for me personally, with confidence, I've never been more confident in my life. It's like we all have days, but I truly like the Lord has just transformed me so much.
How perspective really changes your confidence. The perspective of like the lens of what is seeing you. Like what lens are you looking through? Not trying to be like poetic, but what lens are you looking through? Like, are you looking through God's lens, or are you looking through your Sony camera lens or your Canon? Like, what lens are you looking through? Perfectionism is actually killing your growth. I always love feedback for things. Oh, you could do this better, you can do that better, which is great. We need constructive criticism. But I remember talking to someone and they were like, well, if it's not perfect, don't put it out. And I was like, then you're never going to put it out. You're never going to do it. If you're trying to be absolutely perfect, it's never going to happen. Because, first of all, practically speaking, we're all imperfect people. So how can we expect us to be correct in our creativity? Yeah. And I think people actually enjoy the authenticity of something that isn't perfect. It shows that it's human, like you were saying. Like when you see all these pictures on Instagram and they're so perfect and realizing like, wait, that's actually just the best photo of the hundreds of photos they probably took before that, you know? And I like to think of, I saw this analogy on Instagram actually, and it was a picture of two people that were in a pit. I think it was like a well or something like that. And they had a wood, like pieces of wood, hammer, and nails, and they both were making a ladder to try to get out of the pit. One of them was making a ladder, and it was like super crooked and crazy and rugged and whatever, but they got out so quick because it wasn't perfect, but it was enough for them to get out of the pit. The other person was sawdusting, making it perfect, making the ladder nice, and they were still in the pit years and years later.
That's
and so
so
it's like,
good.
It doesn't have to be perfect. But what I think is really valuable is that at least you're growing through the process. Make it, I love how you say at least 1% better every single time. Something that I think that is the most important in growth is your character. Like if you are chasing after your dreams and it's not in alignment to what the Lord has for you, then even if you do reach a certain standard that the world says is perfect, it's still going to be imperfect because you're just going to know deep inside your heart. The right way, you want to do it the right way, the perfect way, whatever you want to call it, like do it God's way. And it's actually going to be better than you trying to do it your way.
Because also, like, why are you trying to please a world that's literally going to forget you existed in like 60 years? People fight to be remembered or to be praised or just to get something. People are like, I just want to be recognized. I just want to be seen. It's like, God already sees you. Why don't you like just like accept that and be like, no, that's like more than enough because that's eternal. And then it lifts off that burden. You know what I mean? And then you could fully focus on what he has for you.
Your whole mannerism changes when your mindset changes. Like when you're in the thought process of, oh, I hope everybody likes me. I hope I'm saying the right thing. You don't realize it, but you walk into rooms like this. Like, you know, like you walk into rooms all like shrimped. Like you know who you are. You walk into rooms.
Oh, the posture.
The posture changes.
The way you walk, the way you talk.
Yeah.
And the way you handle yourself.
Yeah.
Because we're never meant to like shrink ourselves down. We're never meant to do that. We are supposed to walk boldly in the identity he has for us.
Yeah.
And so by shrinking yourself down, you're like setting yourself back.
Yeah.
By years.
And it's crazy. It's because it's like when you're trying to hide, it's people know, like people, whether they're walking with the Holy Spirit or not, because I do believe that like Jesus is within everybody, whether they choose to accept it or not. Like everybody can tell and sees when someone is walking in a confidence because they know who they are in Christ versus a confidence that's prideful or a lack of confidence. Like you just know, there's someone's essence and how they carry themselves, what's going on in their mind. You know,
it's so good.
So, yeah. What do you feel like are the common misconceptions people might have about getting out of their comfort zone?
For one, that's dangerous because it's actually, like I said, way more dangerous to stay in that cage. Like your comfort zone is a cage and you're not going to get anywhere if you stay in that cage. And truly, if you just let yourself stay where it's comfortable, sooner or later, it's going to creep up on you and be uncomfortable because it's comfortable now. God, like I have a nice couch. Like imagine I stayed on this couch, right? I'm like, I love this couch. And then the more time goes on, this couch just gets like wear and tear and wear and tear and wear and tear. But I'm like, no, I like my couch. I don't want to leave. But then sooner or later, I'm going to start having back problems because this couch has like no stuffing in it. It's like two sticks standing here. Like, no, that's what happens when you stay in your life. It's like you're in a stage right now, but you are made for something bigger.
Yeah.
And if you know that in your heart and in your soul, but you still choose to stay where it's safe, it's way less safe.
Yeah. It's fear of man. Like you're afraid of what everyone's going to say about you.
And why would you fear like other human beings when it's like, you know, they're in the same place as you, like they're on the same exact journey. Everybody's experiencing life for the first time.
Yeah.
So why would you let that hinder you when they've also made a million mistakes? Like, a lot of people like to pass judgment, but it's like God's the final say. of who you are. And so just let it literally roll off your back. I have had people make fun of me. I've had people say so many different things. Like, I have faced people belittling me in so many different ways. And it's like, but honestly, that like their words carry zero weight, because I'm like, no, I'm God's daughter. Like, I'm God's daughter. He gave me gifts. I'm going to use them for him. And I'm just going to walk boldly in that, because that's why I'm here.
Yeah. And a practical example too, that I saw this communicator on YouTube. He was trying to make that point in a way that just made sense. And so there was a room full of people, and he made an example. He pointed out to this guy with like blonde hair, and he like made fun of him for having blue hair. He was like, oh, you look so ugly. Like, I hate your blue hair. And the guy was like, what? Like, you're crazy.
Yeah.
And because the guy's blonde, like, he doesn't have blue hair. And so he was like, so when I made fun of you for having blue hair, you didn't flinch. He was like, yeah. He was like, why? Because you know you don't have blue hair. So when someone is making fun of you about, like, you know, maybe you're in high school, maybe you're in junior high, and you're experiencing bullies, and someone's like making fun of you because you look this way, or you like this thing, or you do that, or whatever the like bully thing is.
Yep.
It's like, I don't have blue hair. Like, yeah, I don't, that's not who I was made to
If
be.
you know the truth, then it's just a lie.
It's a lie. And then you reject that, and you don't actually take on those comments about you, because you know it's not true. Like, when you know it's not true, you're not going to internalize it. And now I'm not saying, like, don't listen to constructive criticism and feedback from people that you know actually love you and care about you.
Yeah, but take it to the secret place and figure out what the motive was.
Yeah. When you walk in that confidence of knowing who you are in Christ, not in yourself, because there's going to be times where you're going to be all by yourself and you have nothing to hold on to but God. And so there's just a whole different essence that you have when you walk into rooms. How do you handle self-doubt?
I feel like recently I've gotten to a place where, and this might sound crazy, I don't have that much self-doubt. And yeah, I would just say, honestly, like, when I did though, it's like you just have to understand again that, like, you don't want to stay where you are because you don't like where you are. And so if you try and you fail, I'm proud of you for trying. You literally just have to have that mindset, because that's the only way to handle it. Because the thing is, you're not good enough. Like, you are literally imperfect. Jesus is what makes you enough. So if you do things with him, you give your all, he will match you and do whatever you can't do. And then suddenly the self-doubt doesn't exist anymore, because it's not just you. It's you plus perfection himself. And so, like, then you can't fail. Then you know that if you fail by the world standards, you still learned and you still, like, grew. But if you win, then you win with Jesus. Like, so
and even practical ways, like when you're having self-doubt, it's like, why am I feeling this way? Am I doubting myself because of the way this person spoke to me, when it's really because I have a desire to be connected to them, or I have a, like, desire for them to like me? Is that why I have self-doubt? Or, like, you know, where something is always coming from something, and it's also recognizing the difference between, like, I guess, condemnation and conviction, because, like, when God corrects you, it's in a loving way.
Like, a more practical thing with self-doubt is, like, we, biblically speaking, were given the authority and, like, the power to take every thought captive and make it obedient to Christ. Like, God gave us the ability to do that. And so when thoughts of self-doubt come, you don't just let them, like, pass by. You take them and you counter them with God's truth about who he says you are. Because the thing is, the same way we can plant seeds in someone and just tell them, like, a little bit about Jesus and a little bit about their identity in him, the same way the enemy will plant seeds in us. And so we're like, it's okay, it's just one insecurity, it's just one little thought. And we keep it there. We still keep it inside of us. But, like, slowly but surely, every time that thought comes and you don't combat it with God's word, it's going to grow a little bit more. And it's going to keep sprouting and keep sprouting, until it's like a giant tree of self-doubt. And so the same way that little things can grow, and you can, like, remind yourself, no, like, I'm a daughter of God. And then your tree grows in that way. It's like the same thing's bad things can grow. So you are a summary of your habits, and you're a summary of how you react to things, because you're not in charge of intrusive thoughts. You're not in charge of, like, what pops in your brain. You're not in charge of what other people say about you. Things are going to happen. Hard things are going to happen in your life. Literally, the only thing that you have to do is worry about how you react. And you have to react with God.
Yes. 2 things. Let's say it again. You are the summary of your habits, and you are in charge of how you respond. Come on. Those are big things that I think we kind of
Brush over.
We do. We brush over them so much. So if you are the summary of your habits, what would you consider to be an investment in yourself?
Ooh, the hard things. Every time you, like I said, every time that the temptation comes where you like scroll on TikTok, like you have 30 minutes. You have 30 minutes. You can use that to scroll on TikTok and literally not get yourself anywhere. Or you could be like, no, I'm gonna work out. I'm going to do research on how to start my podcast. I'm going to be creative on my computer for like 30 minutes, whatever it is. That's like a practical way to combat that.
Everything flows from something else. So it's like if you need the energy to create, when you work out, you have so much more energy after you do a workout. Yes. So it's like if you want time to create, go work out for like an hour, 30 minutes or whatever, and then you have the energy to do that. Or eat well, have a healthy lifestyle. And then you're able to continue to do things that you want to do. Doing things on your own could be hard at first. So it's like if you have an accountability partner, just tell them the things that you're trying to do. We're going to be in New Year's here pretty soon, January 1st. Lola, let's tell them some things that they can do.
Let's, like practicals?
Yeah, practical things. What you're going to do January 1st, you're going to make a vision board. You're going to write down the things you're going to start now, practical steps. And who's going to be your accountability partner when you start those things?
You're also going to, like when you write your goals, you're going to break it down into steps. And also don't sign up for too many goals. Because yes, let me think about this. Because don't like overwhelm yourself. But write down every goal you want to achieve. But just know that you don't have to get abs in 2 weeks.
Yeah. Write down the things that you know you have to. You know deep down in your heart and your mind in the back of your head the things that you need to do, want to do, that you've been called to do but have been putting off. Do it. Write down practical. And if you don't know what the practical steps are, ask chat. Literally. Jesus.
Ask the Lord and then take it to ChatGPT when
yes.
he says.
Ask Jesus about it. And then take it to chat and be like, hey, this is my goal for 2026. Help me create a plan. Okay. Practical plan so that you just know the dates and stuff like that.
Also, I was going to say about writing things down. There's a study, I forget done by who, but it stuck in my brain for the past like 5 years. And they interviewed college kids. And they asked some college kids had no idea what they wanted to do with their lives. Some of them, or like with their career, some of them had an idea, but it wasn't written down. Then the other ones had it written down exactly what their career was going to be. And it literally went let me start over. It literally went hand in hand of how successful they were. Like the ones that didn't have a plan were like, here, I'm like making this much. The ones that had an idea of what they were going to do were like here. And then the ones that had it written down, like way up there. Like it literally, there's so much power because if you have no direction, you're going to be going in circles. Yeah. Like if you don't know, I'm walking in that direction. I don't care if it's one step at a time or a sprint or a jog or I'm super, super slow. I'm going that direction. Sooner or later, you're going to get there. If you are just like, I don't know what I'm doing. I might do this. And then you're literally going to be walking in circles. And then meanwhile, it's like the other person that knew where they were going, taking the same amount of steps as you or less. Maybe they're working less hard, but they had a plan. They're going to get there sooner or later. And then also like the power of the tongue is such like a biblical thing. Yeah. Like I think something that the enemy does is he takes everything that God gives us, takes God out of it and gives us back to it. Gives it back to us. and then tries to confuse us because that's like literally everything he always does. Like love exists. He gives us lust. He takes God out of that, and then suddenly it's just lust. And the same thing can be said about like manifestation. Like manifestation, people could be like, "Oh, I'm manifesting this. I'm writing it down and I'm speaking it out loud." But it's like if you don't have God, there's no power in that. Yeah. And maybe the enemy gives you a little bit of power because he's trying to throw you off course. But it's like no, if you write it down with God and you speak it out loud, like biblically with God in prayer. Yeah. That's where you'll see growth.
There is so much power in the things that you write down and the things that you say out loud. Everything I've ever written down, I've done and has come true and has come to life. Everything, like from small things to big things.
I was on the fence about if I should do something or not. And I I'm going to keep it super universal. So you can apply this to any like area of your life. But I was so on the fence. And then she was like, well, here's the thing. If you don't try, you're going to get nothing. Mm-hmm. If you do try, worst thing you get is a no. And I was like, that's so good.
Yeah.
And I did it and it went great.
Yeah.
So that's off topic.
Yeah.
But it's fire.
No, it's on topic. What do you have to lose? You don't have it anyways. Like, you're already living in the know that TikTok. I reposted it. Come on. You're already living in the know.
Mm.
So the only option you really have is yes.
The only option is the unknown.
Right. That's not the surfing. Come on. Into the head. Elsa. Anyways, yeah, the only option you really have. And if you don't, God will pick somebody else.
Ooh.
If you don't, somebody else will. Someone prior to me would. If you wanted to, you would. Literally, almost every single person that I know that is, I don't ever believe that you achieve your dream and you stop there. I think you're never going to stop growing. You're never going to reach something and feel like, wow, I'm done, I did it. Like, there's always going to be something that you're going to, because we're made to go after something. We're made to worship something. Even if you're in a season where you have no idea what your future is going to be, I feel like we're 16, 17, high school, when you feel like you have to figure out what you're going to do for the rest of your life, which is like such a big decision. And so as someone who didn't know what my major was going to be until the last day of senior year, because I had so many passions, one thing that I remember my pastor told me at the time was whatever you do, just make sure you keep moving forward. So, okay, you don't know what to do, sign up for college anyways. You're going to have to do the first 2 years of GEDs anyways. Mm-hmm. Whatever you do, continue to move forward and God will give you the next step. And I think that's the way that God works for me, as someone who's a crazy planner. It's I think the Lord works with me specifically by not telling me things until the last second, because he knows that I'm going to plan it anyways. Mm-hmm. And so he's I want you to trust me. Yeah. So we're going to do things last minute. Yeah. Because I want you to know that I'm the one that's planning these things in your life. And so you don't need to know this until when the time comes, because I know you're going to try to plan it and I don't want you to plan it. I want you to just trust me. And so God works with people in different ways. Yeah. Whether it's telling you something in advance that you need to do it, you need to take on, or knowing how your brain works and planning things ahead of time, and it's just gonna tell you at the moment that you need to know. Hopefully this all makes sense. Hopefully, if you're watching, please add comments, add questions down below. How to be confident. Perfectionism is killing you, and you are holding yourself back.
Recently, a friend of mine said, slow obedience is no obedience. And so when you're talking about how the Lord will be no, you're gonna wait on me. And even though you love to plan, he's no, wait till the last second, and that's when I'm going to tell you what to do. Mm. I think the Lord will sometimes always ask us personally what's scary for us personally. And so for you, it's not having a plan. Yeah. And so that terrifies you, and it's such an opportunity to trust him. Yeah. Because that's literally, you gotta trust God, Mm-hmm. That's the moment to prove it.
So we have some viewer questions. What this is before the episode, there are a couple of people that know a little bit about the topic, and they have some questions they would like to ask us. Question number 1 is, what if I don't know where to start when it comes to stepping into my greatest potential?
If you don't know where to start, you take the first step. And that's the thing is you could be what's the first step? Ask the Lord. You have the number one resource with you all the time. And it's if you truly don't know where to start with something, just take one step in that direction. It's if your goal is somewhere this way and you're I don't quite know where it is yet, just take one step and then you'll be closer to seeing where it is. And then you just keep doing that. And then the thing is also open every door. Ask the Lord to shut the doors that are not from him.
And he'll do it so fast.
And he will do it so fast.
With the hour.
And your discernment also sometimes might kick in. If he doesn't close the opportunity, you will feel uncomfortable with it. So you open every single door that you think could be from the Lord. He will slam the ones that are not for you. Sooner or later, you will be in the right hallway.
Mm-hmm. You know to your core if something is from God or if something probably isn't.
Sure.
I think kind of how you were saying, is sometimes when we're on the fence about things, and when we don't know, it's usually because we don't like the answer that it is.
Most of the time when you don't.
Sometimes the Lord
does keep us in the dark for a reason. Sometimes he doesn't show you the answer as an opportunity for growth. And it's not like he's keeping anything from you. He will tell you in his timing, but that's just an opportunity to trust him. But 9 times out of 10, deep down inside, we know. And we just have to make the choice to believe it.
Yeah. If you're watching this, you're junior high, high school, and this is the start of trying to figure out like who you are, what your passion is, what God's giving you. Or you're finishing college and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know where I'm supposed to be. Or even like sometimes I have conversations with adults who still don't even know what their purpose is. And so something that I like to do is right now, grab your laptop, your phone, your whiteboard, and we're going to write down some things together.
Okay, come on.
All right, let's do this.
Let's log in.
First thing you're going to write down, because we're going to write it down.
Oh, I'm writing it down.
All right. So title this section, Your Personality.
Ooh.
In that section, you have 5 seconds. You're going to write down the things that make up your personality.
I don't type that fast.
Okay, 10 seconds. Ready? Countdown, go. I think you don't want actually. Is it past 10 seconds? Probably. All right. What did you write down, Lola?
I wrote down joyful, not to hype myself up. No, joyful, fun, creative, people, person, loving.
And that's exactly who you are.
Oh, shucks.
I love that. I wrote down joyful, intellectual,
Come on.
warm, trustworthy. That's what I wrote down. Okay, ready?
Yes.
The next one.
Mhm.
Colors you love.
Ooh.
Ready? Go.
Sorry.
Okay. All right. What were the colors you? Black, pink. I feel like it's black a color.
It's a hue.
Black, pink, butter yellow, light blue, burgundy, navy. I like those colors.
Thank you.
That's cool.
Oh.
The colors I put were yellow, green, chocolate brown. Ooh,
That's so you.
I'm all over the place here. You're like a ghost.
I feel like yours is burgundy for sure.
Thank you. That was the first thing as somebody walked into the door. Burgundy, red, off the shoulder, like that's her.
It's a new vibe, but it's half.
Okay, I love it. You ready for the next category?
So ready?
We're just gonna keep going up. Seasons you love. But technically there's only 4, so just choose one, okay?
Oh.
Be specific, like, okay, there's summer, spring, winter, and fall, but there's early summer.
Ooh.
Like June. Or there's late summer, I got August. You know what I'm saying? Okay, ready, go. Are you already done?
10 seconds.
Go.
I don't even know if I'm not confident in my decision, but
Talking about confidence, yes you are.
But you're taking the first step. Come on. The Lord will show me if it's the wrong season. Like, he will reveal it to me.
All right, there you go. What's your season?
Midsummer.
Midsummer. Yeah, that's you.
Like, June, July. Like, not May. And not September. I like September. But, like, midsummer.
I like it.
What about you?
Mine is very late summer.
Ooh.
Late August. Maybe that's because of my birthday.
Yeah.
We're gonna wait until after all this to say what this all means.
Okay, I know. Because, all right, I'm, like, doing this blindly.
Yeah, this is Lola's first time doing this. Okay, ready?
Yes.
Next section. What are you good at? Write down everything you're good at.
Okay.
Ready, go. 10 seconds. I need more than 10 seconds.
I have a long list.
That's good. You should
Have myself up here. Okay.
I wrote down as the first one that came up to my head. Okay, you go.
Okay. I did loving people, writing, creating digitally. I didn't know a better way to word that. Writing songs, business, editing, friendship.
That's who you are. Thank you. All right, I put speaking / encouraging people, connecting with people, teaching, leading, decor and visual aesthetic.
Come on. This is so like my decor. Yeah. Our house is perfect, by the way.
Thank you.
As perfect as this space in the slick back.
Ready for the next one?
Yes, I'm so ready.
What conversations are you passionate about?
Ooh, there you go.
Okay. Ready?
Ready. Raising your standards for yourself. In every single category of your life. Raising your standards for friendship, relationships, business, like everything. Loneliness, creativity, and just Jesus in general.
Yeah, that's good. I put down endurance, perseverance, character, community, passivity, isolation, purpose. So good.
Come on.
Those are the things. That's so good. All right, you ready for the next one? It's going to get so even more deep.
Oh my gosh.
What do you feel like is lacking in the world?
I said Jesus and every good thing he is, which is just, I wrote a little list that came to my mind, but love, pure motives, truth, sacrifice, patience, and passion.
Shoot. Sacrifice. My bluest word. Creative is Jesus, specifically in the film industry, because I think he's the ultimate storyteller. So good. And then authenticity and being genuine. I think that's it.
All right. So with all the things that you've written down, you have now identified the things that are in your heart that you're passionate about.
Come on.
You have now identified your visual personal brand. And then now you have also identified, confirm this with the Lord, the deep, deep thing in your heart that God is calling you to do.
That's so good.
So,
Come on, Sheesh.
with all those things, yeah, come on. For me, it was feeling like there's a world that's lacking character, execution, perseverance, a lack of real community, or Christians in the film or visual performing arts industry. I therefore then created the Endeavor series. So good. Come on. All of the things you just identified were things that I was associating with you as a person, because I know that that's what you're passionate about, what you love to do is coming out through your YouTube channel, your YouTube series. So, cheat sheet.
That's so good.
Because now we just discovered, you talk about personal brand a lot in your YouTube. Now we just discovered like your why.
Yeah.
We also discovered what makes you you. And I would so encourage you to really think about the things that you love and what you're drawn to, rather what you think is aesthetic and pleasing to what other people want to see.
That's so good.
This reminds me, a friend of mine is starting a YouTube channel, and she was telling me, she's like, I just don't know where to start. Like, I don't know how to go about it, like what kind of this and that I should use. I was like, no, your Instagram content is incredible. You need to just operate in that same way with YouTube, of just completely not thinking about what other people do, their fonts, their storylines, their topics, or this or that. She literally just does whatever pops into her brain and takes it to the secret place, and it creates something absolutely incredible. And I told her, I was like, that's like what makes you stand out, and that's what's going to take you to the level that God wants you at.
Yeah. So good. So if you would like to share what your responses were in the comments, it'd be so fun for Lola and Sister to like take a look at what you're going to be working on January 1st.
And I will be in the comments.
Yeah, she will.
I always do.
She's always there because she's that friend that is going to be there with you in the ups and the downs and the turnarounds. So love it. Okay, so that was our first question. Viewer question, that was a lot longer, but that was some practice test. Question number 2. How do I get over the fear of not being enough or becoming more confident in who I am first before even starting something new?
You're not going to be enough to your own standards. You'll never be enough for yourself. You'll never be enough for another human. You'll never be enough for the world. You just need to focus on that you're already enough for God. And so, like, literally, and people could be like, what? That's so sad. Like, I'm not enough for the world. The world is dumb.
pray about it. But literally, the one who created you, the one who created the earth, God says you are more than enough. God literally created you just the way you are. With him, you are more than enough. He will fill in all the gaps of your weakness. And you have weakness because you're in a broken, fallen world. For as long as we're on this earth, we'll never be perfect. We'll never be able to do it on our own. And so that's just what you have to realize is it's like God would not tell you to do something if he thought that you weren't made for it. Like he already took into account your failures. He already took into account the things that you struggle with and your mistakes and your weaknesses and all of that. And he is just going to come in there and like fill in those holes so that you are enough for what he's called you to.
And some of the things that you even said earlier in the episode that I really loved, some practical steps to like, okay, that you can start tomorrow or even today after you like finish watching this episode is something I loved that you said was do something alone. Don't be afraid to do something by yourself.
So good.
Walk into a conference, go to church by yourself.
Yeah.
Walk into that birthday party by yourself. Go to an event by yourself. The number one way I think you said and even I have grown the most confidence so quick was going somewhere by myself, because when I did, I had to face the uncomfortability of not latching onto someone else.
So true.
So like if I walk in there, I'm walking in with Jesus. I'm not by myself.
Come on.
And when you do that, practically your confidence grows in like 2 seconds. And be the first one to introduce yourself to someone.
I do it all the time, constantly.
And like you'll realize how not as scary it is, because like you said, everyone's thinking the same thing. Like,
yeah.
And it wasn't about me anymore, and like it was about what I was going to bring to other people there. And like the mindset, the confidence just like totally shifted and switched. So those are some practical things that you can do right now to really build your confidence. The lack of confidence comes from not knowing who you are, and also the inability to sit with yourself. If you can't sit with yourself, you are like refusing to like deal with yourself. So good.
You came into the earth by yourself. You need to by yourself, like you need to give your life to Jesus, just you. It's just your relationship with God is just you and God. That's such a comfort, because it's like, no, that sounds crazy, but it's like, no, that's actually what it's always been. It's always been me and God, like the whole time. Like you can go to an event alone.
The last question. Most of us start our fear of failure and discovery in junior high. What is one thing you wish to tell little you and the younger generation?
I guess I would say that every single hard thing that you thought you wouldn't get through, you're going to get through it. And it's like when you're in the moment, the insecurities, the perfectionism, every single struggle thrown at you, every single time you're like, no, I can't handle this. Yes, you can, because you have God. You didn't have God. I don't know if you'd be able to handle it, because we are imperfect and we're weak, but in our weakness, God makes us strong. And I guess practicals with that would really just be to take every thought captive, because I think that in your teenage years, the number one thing that the enemy will attack is your mind. And so that's why you really have to take every single thought captive and make it obedient to Jesus, because you have the power to do that. He tells us to do that. Like, that's him giving us life advice. And if I were to do that in junior high, in my like pit of despair, like I would have been doing so much better.
Yeah.
So that would be my number one thing, is to learn how to recognize what is from God, what is from you, and what is from the enemy. And then you take things that are from the enemy, or even things that are from you, and you leave them at God's feet.
Well, thank you, Lola, so much for this conversation. It was so fun, so good. And I know I have like a lot of episodes that can be really serious and really good, because there's a season for every moment. But I love having the episodes where we can just laugh. You can have so much fun with Jesus.
Yeah, you
know. And so
episode 2 coming soon.
And so you are a representation of that. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Again, subscribe to Lulu Fox.
And subscribe to the Endeavor series by Grace Lemons. And go follow her on Instagram, because her short form content has been eating. And go support.
We've been making short form content.
We've been watching.
So thank you so much for watching. And now it's time for you to get up and do something, because your day is just beginning. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. We love you.
Okay.